Om Namah Narayani. Morning, good evening, wherever we are all joining in from. Today is the 58th week of Sri Lalitha Sahasranamam class, and we will be looking at her names from 398 to 404. Let us begin with our prayers. Om Jnana Rupaya Vidmahi Shaktiyam Saya Dhimahi Tanno Shaktiyam Ma Prachodayat. Om Jnana Rupaya Vidmahi Shaktiyam Saya Dhimahi Tanno Shaktiyam Ma Prachodayat. Om Jnana Rupaya Vidmahi Shaktiyam Saya Dhimahi Tanno Shaktiyam Ma Prachodayat. Om Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhyanam Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya Maulispurat Taranayakasekharam Smitamukhim Mapina Vakshoruham Panibhyam Alipurna Ratna Chashakam Raktotpalam Bibhratim Saumyam Ratna Ghatastha Rakta Charanam Dhyayit Paramambikam Dhyayit Padmasanastham Vikasita Vadam Padmapatra Yatakshim Hemabham Pitavastram Karakalitalassat Hema Padmam Varangim Sarvalankara Yuktam Satatam Abhayatam Bhaktanam Ram Bhavanim Shri Vidyam Shantamurtim Sakala Suranutam Sarva Sampat Pradatrim sakunkumavilepanamalikachundikastūrikām samandahasite-kshanām sachara-chapa-pasām-kusām asesha-janamauhinīm arunamalya-bhūshojjvalām japa-kusuma-bhāsurām japa-vidhau smaredambikām arunām karunātarangitakshiṃ dhruta-pasām kusha-pushpa-bāna-chāpām animādhibhirāvratāṃ mayūkhairahamityeva vibhāvaye mahīsīṃ. Om Aim Hrim Śreem Om Namo Narayani Om Śreem Śrīmatre Namah swaha. Let us begin with Sri Lalitha Narayani's 398th name. Om Śreem avyaktāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem avyaktāyai avyaktāyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem avyaktāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem avyaktāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who is the unmanifest state of the universe. So there is this word we are coming across now, avyaktam. So avyaktam is the opposite, negation of vyaktam. Vyaktam is that, vyaktāvyaktam is that which is manifest. Avyaktam is one that is not manifest. And some equate this unmanifest state as the Brahman. So if you're reading about Brahman, to describe that indescribable Brahman, they can use avyaktam as a usage. The Brahman is totally unmanifest in that state. But the actual meaning is also the more often used meaning for the avyaktam is before something becomes manifest. So before something becomes visible, before something gets a name and form, the nama-rupa, it is just in its earliest state, it is yet to fully come. Like we were to look at going back to the Shabda Brahman, like when we are going to how the sound is formed, like para, pashyanti, madhyama, vaikari, since we've been talking about it recently, the para state is come into existence, but it hasn't manifested. It's like the seed has come. The Brahman state is, the seeds also emanate from the Brahman. The Brahman is beyond the seed state. Here in the avyaktam state, the seed form exists, but it's yet to manifest fully. Avyaktam state where it is fully, you can see the form. So the avyakta here then is a manifestation from Maya. So if we go back to the blueprint of creation, the potential form, the Shiva, the kinetic form, Shakti, the Purusha, and the Prakriti, when they join, the creation starts. Maya manifests from that, all the different aspects of creation manifest, we saw. And then the from the Maya, the various subtle stages of manifestations materialize. So they're all in the avyaktam states. And then we come into the states of like where it's more manifest, the panchabhutas, the karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, the five senses, the actions, the five limbs of action, the five jnanendriyas for the wisdom, the manam, buddhi, ahankaram, chittam, the gunas, all these become manifested in the process of creation. But what we are looking at is in the name and form, which is animated and it has the life movement that's going on. But in the avyaktam state, it is still in that unmanifest state. And it is said, why does the Brahman create? At some point, the Brahman gets a thought, so movement starts. And in that movement, a desire to create. Why does this desire to create? Let me become many. And in that creating of the many, the seed of the Brahman, each of us, but we have all come into the realm of vyaktam, that is in the form of manifestation. Whereas Sri Lalitha is the avyaktāyai. She is avyakta. She is the avyakta. Next name, again, we are going to see the vyaktāvyakta. Her 399th name, Om Śreem vyaktāvyakta svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vyaktāvyakta svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vyaktāvyakta. This is a combination of vyakta and avyakta together. Vyakta and avyakta is vyaktāvyakta. Om Śreem vyaktāvyakta vyaktāvyakta svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vyaktāvyakta vyaktāvyakta svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vyaktāvyakta svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vyaktāvyakta svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who is the manifest and the unmanifest states. So if the totality of creation is her, the unmanifest state is also her, the manifest state is also her. So there are various ways, several ways of looking at into the vyaktāvyakta state of Sri Lalitha. You can look at it like she is visible. Like in the visible form, she can be the invisible, the Brahman, the soul within each person is avyaktam, not visible. Whereas the visible form of each jiva we see. And it is like the Shakti is hidden as avyaktam, the unmanifest state, the hidden in those who are bound by the veils of karma. So those who are caught up in this life form, in the samsara, their manifestation is in the vyakta form, but she resides in each one in the avyakta form. In those who have cleared their karma they have no wills to cover her, then she, the Shakti, the Sri Lalitha, manifests as vyaktam. She becomes manifest in those who are devoid of all karma, who've emancipated, who've become one with the divine. There she becomes manifest, she becomes the vyaktāvyakta. She is vyakta and avyakta. It's like she is the form, like we have the morphous form and the amorphous form. Morph is with the form, amorphous is without the form. So the subtle form is there as well as the gross, the manifested form is there. And these are, the vyakta form keeps going, goes through changes. Whereas the avyaktam form doesn't go through those changes. It is like, it's imperishable. So she is both in the form of perishable and imperishable. In the perishable form, in the life form, she resides as the imperishable. And there is another way to look at it as she is vyakta, she is avyakta, and she is vyaktāvyakta. So she is manifest, she is unmanifest, and she's a combination of both the manifest and the unmanifest. And all these are her svarūpinyai. That is her svarūpam, that is her inherent form. That itself is her form. So being formless is also a characteristic of her. So we are using here the svarūpam is not as the form, but that is her nature. Like if someone is happy, it's not a form, it's a characteristic. If someone has the qualities, they don't have form, but the qualities itself is her inherent nature. And that inherent nature is described as svarūpam, that is the inherent nature. Rupam can also mean the vyaktam, the manifested form. Here the svarūpam is her inherent characteristic, her nature. Her 400th name, we are completing 400 with this. Om Śreem vyāpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vyāpinyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem vyāpinyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem vyāpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vyāpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who is all-pervading. So this comes in various forms. We've used description of the Brahman, of Sri Lalitha, the divine, omnipresent, omniscient. So this all-pervading is vyāpinyai. So we have seen this in various other descriptions. She is Sahasra Sirsha Vadana, Sahasrakshi, Sahasrapat. She's like everywhere in all the every aspect of creation. She's Sarva Vyapini. If you pay attention to the lyrics of the bhajans, you will find this Vyapini coming quite often. If you're looking at some of Amma's bhajans, like what we are all, several of them we are familiar with. For example, there is this bhajan, Janani Janani Jaya Janani Janani Jaya Janani Janani Mata. And in that, as we go, there is this verse, the line that comes, Sarvavyapini Satyarupini Janani Janani Mata. So Sarvavyapini, this cosmic mother, the divine mother is Sarvavyapini. Sarva is everything, Vyapini, she's all pervading. Another bhajan again from us, Gangama, Gangama. Gangama, Gangama, Gangamaiya. Gangama, Gangama, Gangamaiya. Oh, Gangama, Gangama, Gangamaiya. Again, there is a verse in that. Sarvavyapi Satyarupi Sarvajivakarani Sakala Loka Vyāpini. Sarvavyapi Satyarupi, she's of truth. Sarvajivakarani, she's the cause for all the life forms. Karanam, she's the causal factor. Sakala Loka Vyāpini, Sakala, all, Loka, all the worlds she pervades, she's Vyāpini. Again, in the Sharada one, there is another bhajan. Sharada Jaya Sharada. In that bhajan again. Veerarupi Vijayadai Vishwakarma Karini Shantarupi Shaktidai Sakaloka Vyāpini. Now that you're becoming more and more familiar with the meanings and the words in Sri Lalitha, you will be able to understand more of the lyrics of the bhajans, the songs, if you go through them and pay attention to them, because a lot of these, the characteristics of the divine are described with many of the words that we are becoming familiar with. These descriptions of the divine are sung in praise of the divine. That's why bhajans are one of the beautiful ways to connect with the divine. And if you know the meaning of the lyrics, it's the same praise and all the qualities, characteristics of the divine. When you sing, it is so easy to connect with the divine, so much easier. And that's one of the beautiful, easy ways to connect with the divine. Like Amma says, puja, the mantras. The divine has given us so many ways to connect with the divine, and joyful ways. And singing the bhajans is one of the ways. And when you know the meanings, you can go so much deeper into it. Instead of, like poetry is more beautiful than prose, like singing her praise in these, with these lyrics, with these deep meanings is so much more beautiful. Her 401st name, Om Śreem vividhākārāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vividhākārāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vividhākārāyai vividhākārāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vividhākārāyai vividhākārāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vividhākārāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who has many forms. There is a usage in Tamil, vidam vidama, vida vidama. So it's like so many different forms, varieties, vida vidam. Vividhākāram, akaram, against these forms. So we call swaha as, earlier we have seen in one of our names, the 104th 37th name, Nirakārāyai. So she is without any form. Here in this name, for first name, she is vividhākārāyai. She is so many different forms. So that one Brahman can manifest as the different forms, can remain unmanifest, and it can be in the subtle form of the avyakta state, it can be in the manifest form of the vyakta state, and in the vividhākārā, in all these various forms. And this again another nirvikara. So this is akara, the usage again. Her form is the unchanging, but when it comes into the various different forms, what is manifest will undergo change. So the earlier name we saw, Nirvikara, in 145, her 145th name. Here she is vividhākārā, so the various forms, and once it comes into manifestation, it comes into the realm of changing, perishable, all this. Once we are in the realm of name and form, all the changes are part of that. Her 402nd name, Om Śreem vidyāvidyā svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vidyāvidyā svarūpinyai vidyāvidyā svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vidyāvidyā. So this is vidya and avidya. So like we saw in the earlier, vyakta and avyakta becomes vyaktāvyakta. Here it's vidya and avidya becoming vidyāvidyā svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vidyāvidyā svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vidyāvidyā svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who is both knowledge as well as ignorance. So again, this has interpretations. Vidya, we know, is knowledge. Avidya is ignorance, no knowledge, without knowledge. Avidya is the negation of vidya. And it is svarūpam, it's an inherent characteristic. So is the divine lacking knowledge? Is the divine doesn't have the wisdom and the knowledge? So these subtleties are expressed in the ways we saw avyaktam is manifest. So when avyaktam, the vyaktam is manifest, so the jivas come, life manifest in so many different forms. So this week's names are building up. The avyaktam becomes the vyaktam, and unmanifest is coming into the manifest, and the manifest is coming into so many different forms. And once the so many different forms are there, it is a mixture of both the ignorance as well as the knowledge, wisdom. And what is this knowledge? The ways of looking at it is the jiva, the life form, each life form has come from the Brahman, and inherent within each in the avyaktam form, Sri Lalitha Narayani is the soul, the Brahman that she resides within each. And each life form is going through its life. If you're looking at man's perspective or any form, you're caught up in this life of duality, in the materialism, all this. So there is this separation from the divine. I am this, I am that. We get this, when the ahankara, the ego comes, it limits the veil of Maya comes in, and we see this as me and the other as the other. So the duality comes in, and there is the separation of me and other, animate or inanimate. So when this separation happens, this is called as ignorance, avidya. Doesn't necessarily mean bad. So avidya is this losing sight of that inherent wisdom that I am the Brahman, I have manifested from the Brahman. So the divine within is kind of veiled. We live as with our identity as to this name and this form, and that is avidya. And vidya is in the knowing the Brahman. There are again three ways. Another way of looking at it is the three forms. There is the Brahdi form, which is the ignorance, which is there is confusion, and the illusion, the delusion. All this is the knowledge is not clear. There is that is a part of the avidya. And there is the vidya form. And the vidya here is when the jiva is in the process of going back to the source. It is learning and doing, like we are all who are coming to learn Sri Lalitha, all the divine scriptures we are doing. We are in the process of the path of going back to the source to connect from where we came in. So in the learning process there. And the para is the state where one has knowledge of the self, one has connected with the divine. So in this process, there is the process, the Brahdi, and then the vidya form. That is the avidya form, the vidya form, and the. So this combination of the process of each life form, it's manifested from the source, and this journey of going back to the source, we are in the vidya. But if you are not interested in the divine, none of this is interesting. It's I'm happy to just live this world, enjoying fun, other things. I'm not worried about it. Just in the material pleasures in the life, then one is living in that avidya form, because they have lost the connection with the source. And the source is hidden in the avyakta state within each one. There is this amas from the Connect with the Divine. I'd like to share. In the chapter Diksha and the Mala, your body is also a vessel to receive the divine. If the vessel for receiving milk must be completely clean, then how much cleaner should our mind and body be to receive Amma's divine grace? It must be pure. The purpose of performing Diksha and wearing the Mala is to purify both mind and body. So Amma, in Pida, we have this before the full moon for either 9, 7, 5, 3 days. We wear the yellow mala, that is beads, chain that's blessed by Amma. And when we wear that, we follow this protocol of doing in the morning and wearing the mala already exists in some temples. And devotees are blessed to wear this Narayani mala and take the Narayani Diksha Mamma. That is the blessing, the practice. And Amma says, everybody in the world wants to be happy, to live free of worries and to be healthy. But when we look around, we can see that for most people, this is not so. Most have worries and have confusion. And Amos explains all this is because of the karma that we bring in, the results of our karma. The Divine Mother is everywhere, in everyone and in everything. We call her Parashakti. The great Shakti of the divine that fills the whole universe is Parashakti, Sarva-vyapini. Parashakti resides inside everyone as a soul or Atma. Our bodies may be different and we may feel that we are separate from others, but in reality, the life force, the soul inside each one is the very same life, the same Adi Parashakti. So that's why Amma says when we hurt someone or other life form or being, these two lives get connected. And the hurt, the anger, the worries, all these negative thoughts that come from one life will go and imprint themselves in the soul of the other person who was the cause of them. Now this negative energy will not be cleared by simply bathing or sleeping it off. It will continue into the next birth. This is called pavam or sin. Our hurts caused by others become pavam for them. These pavam waves, the waves of the hurt, we have hurt others, and that hurt waves that is now come back with us. These waves continue into the next birth. And these pavam waves will only dissolve when one who originally caused them suffers. So it's like what we sow, we reap. The same thing, like if we give hurt to others, it comes back to us. If we do good, it comes back to us. The action comes back. Punyam, the virtuous or the merit gained from performing good deeds, works also in the same way. When we make others happy, the thought of waves of happiness which have been created in the other will leave their imprint on us as punyam waves. This way, the pavam and punyam waves from previous lives are imprinted upon each of us. So according to these thought waves imprinted on each of us, we get the next janma or birth. So these thought waves are imprinted. You hear people say, I'm so devoted, I go to the temple every day, but I'm suffering so much. Look at that person, he does not do anything good, yet his life is kind to him. The reason is that the other person has done many good deeds in previous births and has the merits of virtues credited into their account balance. So they are enjoying that now, while they are now depositing the pavam, the sins into their account, and they will face more difficulties due to this pavam they've accumulated because of the negative karma. So how to clear this pavam waves? Only the divine can clear them. No other force can clear pavam waves, the sins. For example, if a plate is dirty, we use only clean water to wash the plate properly. Would we ever think to use dirty water to clean it? No. It is the same when we are cleansing our soul. To clear many pavam waves, the sins, the bad karmas, of many lifetimes imprinted upon us, only the divine's grace and blessings can cancel them. To receive the grace and blessings from the divine, we have to prepare ourselves, which is why we take the diksha. It is like that initiation into the practices and live a more disciplined life during those 9 days when we wear the mala and the diksha. This wearing of the mala is for all devotees to receive Amma's grace and blessings. Whether you enter Garbhagraha, when you enter the Garbhagraha, the sanctum sanctorum. So what is so special here is when we wear this Diksha Narayani Pidam, we are allowed to go right inside the sanctum sanctorum where only priests go, others cannot go. But if you have followed the 9 days of the Diksha practices, on the day, the concluding day, we enter the Garbhagraha and we place the mala there too and offer our prayers, and the divine clears that. So this practice of the Diksha to clear the sins, and it is a process like clearing. For example, milk is a very pure thing. If you want to buy some milk, then how should the container that holds the milk be? We saw it has to be clean. If the vessel is not clean, then all the milk we receive will also become spoiled. Your body is like the vessel, a vessel of the divine. If the vessel be used to receive milk should be completely clean, then how must the body that is going to receive the divine's grace be? It should be pure. Therefore, performing the diksha and wearing the mala are important, and their purpose is to purify the body. So we are talking about this because many souls are caught up in this vidya, avidya. So in the process of avidya, to bring it into the vidya, from the ignorance to the wisdom, the knowledge, this cleansing that happens, these are opportunities we have to speed up the process in our journey to connect with the divine. Her 403rd name, Om Śreem Mahakamesh Nayana Kumudahlada Kaumudyai namah swaha. This Kaumudi, but it's Kaumudyai because in the Yagam we are using it as each offering, Kaumudyai, the one who's like that. Om Śreem Mahakamesh Nayana Kumudahlada Kaumudyai namah swaha. 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 Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who gladdens, who brings that joy to the eyes of her Lord Kameshwara, Mahakamesha. Nayana is eyes, Mahakamesha, Lord Kameshwara, Shiva, as the moon gladdens and brings joy to the water lilies or red lotus. So Mahakamesha, Kameshwara, Mahakamesha, Nayana, his eyes, Kumudahlada, it's lit up with so much joy. Kaumudyai, so she is bringing, like the moon's rays gladden the water lilies or the red lotus. The Kaumudi, we can Kumuda, it could be mean red lotus or water lily, a type of water lily. So the Kumuda Ahlada, it is bringing, Klada is bringing that joy, bliss. And why? Because just seeing her, his eyes that are like the flowers open up with, like when the flowers open up and they see the moonlight, his eyes open up with that joy when he sees her. And there is another interpretation for this. She, out of compassion, she brings the jivas who are caught up in the worldliness and going through all the sufferings. She shows them the cooling rays of the moon and from the heat of their suffering to bring them back into the path of moksha, salvation. one thing I'd like to share is this month is in India, there is a different cycle of the year. And this, not January to December, but like from March, April to the next year. That is when the beginning of the year starts. For some around mid-April, some around end March, in that time frame. And this month is called Kartigai month, or Kritigai month. And this is a very special month, and every month has its speciality. And this month's full moon is called Kaumudi. And this whole month, the moon that comes is called, also called as Kaumudi. In the month of Kartigai, the moon is referred to as Kaumudi. It is that cooling, beautiful rays of the sun, of the moon, sorry. And this moon is like bringing joy and beauty and showering her grace. And incidentally, so tomorrow, the 7th of November, is the full moon Yagam Impedam. Its full moon is celebrated, and many Yagams prayers happen across the globe. And for this full moon, and we are in the Kaumudi month, in the Kartigai month, and the full moon is tomorrow. So her Kumudahla, the Kaumudi, she is here to gladden and bring joy, show the way, shower her moon beams, moonlight, to guide those who are suffering in the world, to bring them back to the path of the moksha, to bring them back to the source, to connect with the divine within. And it's a very special full moon. Every full moon has its own speciality. And Kartigai moon is very special. Yeah. Kartigai full moon is very special. Kartigai Deepam is very special. This whole month, from Deepavali onwards, they light lamps everywhere, at home, everywhere. So it's at least the entrance of the door and in the altar, apart from the normal lighting, this month, people light more lamps. It's the time when it's like all this opportunity for the souls to connect with the divine and to bring out that light and to celebrate that light. So 404th name. Om Śreem Bhaktahārda Tamo Bheda Bhanumad Bhanu Santatyai namah swaha. Om Śreem Bhaktahārda Tamo Bheda Bhanumad Bhanu Santatyai namah swaha. Om Śreem Bhaktahārda Tamo Bheda Bhanumad Bhanu Santatyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem Bhaktahārda Tamo Bheda Bhanumad Bhanu Santatyai namah swaha. Namah swaha. Om Śreem Bhaktahārda Tamo Veda Bhanumad Santatyai namah swaha. Om Śreem Tamo Veda Bhanumad Santatyai namah swaha. Om Śreem. Salutations to Sri Lalitha, who dispels the darkness of ignorance in the hearts of devotees, as the sun's rays dispel the darkness of the world. So Bhakta is the devotee, Bhakta Harda, the heart. So similarity in Sanskrit and in English. Bhakta Harda, the heart of the devotee. Tamo Bheda. Tamo we have seen in the Guna, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Tamo is that darkness, the ignorance. Bheda, it's like that confusion, the darkness, the ignorance. Bhanumat Bhanu Santate. Bhanu is the sun's rays, sun's beam. Like the sun's beams clear darkness. The world, her light clears the darkness in the hearts of the devotees. The previous namah of hers, Kumuda Klada, we saw her moon's light showers that grace, it cools and brings that joy and that gladness. And in this next name, we see Bhanumad Bhanu Santatyai. So the sun's rays are coming in to clear the darkness in the hearts of her devotees. Chant her names. We offer our chants to Sri Lalitha Narayani for this coming week. Om Śreem avyaktāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem avyaktāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem avyaktāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vyaktāvyakta svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vyaktāvyakta svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vyaktāvyakta svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vyāpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vyāpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vyāpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vividhākārāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vividhākārāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vividhākārāyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vidyāvidyā svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vidyāvidyā svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem vidyāvidyā svarūpinyai namah swaha. Om Śreem mahākāleśanayana kumudahlād kaumudyai namah swaha. Om Śreem mahākāleśanayana kumudahlād kaumudyai namah swaha. Om Śreem mahākāleśanayana kumudahlād kaumudyai namah swaha. Om Śreem bhaktahārdatamobheda bhanusantatyai namah swaha. Om Śreem bhaktahārdatamobheda bhanusantatyai namah swaha. Om Śreem bhaktahārdatamobheda bhanusantatyai namah swaha. Om sarvamangalamāngalye शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते नमः स्वाहा. Om ज्ञानरूपाय विद्महे शक्तिअंशाय धीमहि तन्नो शक्तिअम्मा प्रचोदयात्. नमः स्वाहा. Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. Let us offer our chants, our prayer, our offerings to Sri Lalitha Narayani, for her to shower her love, her compassion, her blessings on all of us, all our loved ones, all of humanity, all the sentient beings, on all of Mother Earth and in all the worlds, to show her grace, blessings, for all of us to gain this wisdom of karma, of doing good, speaking good, thinking good, to receive this gift of devotion for the divine, to connect with the divine within us, to connect with the divine within each other, to connect with the divine in the whole of creation, to be always in the state of the soul qualities of love, bliss, laughter, joy, peace, harmony, wisdom, abundance, generosity, gratitude, devotion, all the soul qualities through her grace and blessings of Sri Lalitha Narayani, through the grace and blessings of our Guru Sri Shakti Amma Narayani, Om Namo Narayani. Is there any question or any questions? Are there any questions? The last two are the moon's rays and sun's rays. Once you understand the meaning, it is easier to pronounce. Otherwise, it seems like a long name for her. It is one name, and it is the description of all the whole description. How his eyes are open up like the lotus in the moon's light. His eyes open up. Kamesha, Mahakamesha, Lord Shiva's eyes open up when he sees her, when just looking at her in her presence. And the Bhanumant Santatyai, that how the sun's rays, the beams clear darkness. It clears the darkness from the devotee's heart. Otherwise, the meanings are profound but simple, but the names are a bit more elongated. We are getting into the deep concepts of this whole last 100 names, 300 to 400. We've been looking at the creation aspect, what she is in creation. And we've seen a lot of those with her names reflecting, bringing to us the beauty, the grandeur of what creation is and how she creates and all the various forms in that creation. As we continue on our journey through the Lalitha Yagam, we have completed 1 year, October 6th, and today's November 6th, so 1 year and a month, and 58 classes. So we have like almost 2 more years to go of the 1,600 days of Sri Lalitha Namam, and we don't know what Amma Sankalpa is after that. We await that when we get closer to the date, and it's time for me to maybe do a complete chanting from 1 to 400, do it one of these days, so it's easier to practice and chant. Om Namo Narayani. This picture directly from the Sri Lalitha Yagam. So it's so beautiful to have Sri Lalitha Yagam happening right here in Pidam itself as the backdrop. There she is. You can see her in the Yagam fire. And if we take a more distant shot, maybe we can see Lalitha's face also. We can look into that. Om Namo Narayani. So till we see again in the next class, let us soak in beauty of Sri Lalitha and the grand opportunity to participate in this yagam that is happening for the first time on Mother Earth. Amma has said there are Sri Lalitha yagams happen that we chant all the 1,000 names and it's offered. It happens to take just one name for each day, and for each day to invoke her to come in and to offer her to Sri Lakshmi Narayani each day. It is a beautiful, profound, very profound process and opportunity. So let us pray for more people to become aware of it and to come and participate and join in this beautiful opportunity. Om Namo Narayana.